Hey everyone, welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, and strategies to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Thursday. That means we're talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and her guest. We need to make sure that we need to be able to enjoy our wealth. And one way to do that is to make sure we take care of our health. So without further ado, here's Robin Shimizu.
Good morning, everybody. So happy that you're with us. Thank you, Francine, and thank you, Terralina, for having us. Today, I'm going to not do a happy, healthy habit, but I want to just introduce our guest right away. I'm so delighted to introduce Maureen Stevenson with us. And what I'd like to do is introduce her by reading her mission. And then if she wants to embellish after I do this, then she can do that to give us a little bit more about her background. But we're always thrilled to have Maureen with us. She is a coach and specializes in helping women in every way, mentally, spiritually, physically, nutritionally, in every way she can help us. So this is Maureen's mission, and I love reading it in the beginning of her show. She says, "My mission: empowering women in the middle age who are navigating life's changes and shifting their self narratives, guiding them to embrace their bodies and rewrite their stories, thrive with resilience, confidence, and vibrant authenticity." And I think that just says it all for who Maureen is for us. Welcome, Maureen. What do you have today for
Oh,
us?
good morning. I I believe in practical living, so I'm having a practical conversation this morning. I've been doing some pantry editing in my kitchen, and I called my pantry my medicine cabinet because I really believe that where food is medicine. And so this week I've been having a eye opening, I would say, aha moment. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. I was editing my cupboards or pantry. So I did a complete pantry edit, but I will caution that it's not for. I thought when I went into it, it was simple, but oh my God, it was time consuming. But on the other end, I am so happy that I did it because it had opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I think
Interesting.
that's a practical place that people have in their house is their pantry. And so while I did my pantry, some of the stuff that came out in the pantry editing was that I was able to save a lot of money because I was like, oh, this year I'm looking for money. And so one of the things that when you're trying to get healthy or get healthier or get a healthier lifestyle is money always come in a stressor. And I was reading like 82% of US adults stressed about money, right? And that's a big stressor. And that if we can take away that stressor and manage it more, I think our health would be healthier, right? Because they say stress skills. And so my pantry editing was a lot of aha moment because what one of the things I found was that I find a lot of expired food. Yeah, like I had some tuna and all the tuna was like 2022, like they expired. And so it brings me to the point of like buying in bulk. When they say you buy in bulk and save money, but you buy in bulk and then you have them, and then the years pass and you have them in there. So I throw away a lot of money this 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 week, like Sunday, right? And so one of the things that, and also that in our field, health and wellness, they said in every 7 years you grow a new body. So those things were taking up space in my cupboard, which has no use to me now because my symptoms are different right now. And I believe in the practical living of eating to feed those symptoms, right? Because our body has changed. And it's during menopausal, postmenopausal, or perimenopausal. Those are changed body. And so the food that we have in the pantry has to support the now body, right? The now menopausal Maureen.
Right.
Right. And so I was looking in it and I'm like, most of these food that is in my pantry over the years wasn't supporting me now. They had support me then, right? But they have no support, nutritional support since my body's changed to identify with that. So one of the aha moment was that I did that and I found out that I could actually save a lot of money by editing my pantry. And so those things that typically was in there taking up space now make room for greater and better stuff that I can put in there, right? So we take the whole out or we take the expired out and put it in. So I would want to give like a couple good tips on how to do that. And maybe just tackle if the whole kitchen seems too overwhelming, which I found out it is, to be honest. Tackle like one area first. Like, for instance, maybe the spice drawer or the spice cabinet. Because I went to my spice cabinet and I was like, oh my God. Because one of the things that I love was like pepper. I love spicy things. I'm a Jamaican by birth. But now that I have a whole digestive system that can't process that load anymore, then I have to get milder spice, right? Because the older we get, the harder the digestive system can process those loads. So one of the haha moment was like, oh my God, when I eat spice, I have heartburn now and all of that other stuff. So now I have to get gentler spice. So just tackle one area, like one time. You don't have to do it. Just take your time. If it's the spice cabinet, tackle the spice cabinet like in your own time. And just think about the stuff that not serving you anymore and change those out. Another area that I was like really was my tea, right? My tea section. Because I have this whole cabinet that is tea. And I was like, man, looking at the tea and wonder, like some of them were old, of course, out of date. And wonder, like, does this ever serve my body anymore? What type of tea do I want to drink now? As I said, that my digestive system has slowed down. What can help my digestive system to process the toxin and get stuff out? So just tackle one area at a time. I did my old kitchen, but that's another story. But take your time and tackle one section at a time. And what it shows you that what you already have in your cabinet. Like for right now, I said, I can see clearly now. I can see. The blinders are off my eyes. I can see, and I literally can see, and you feel the energy. You know, you feel the energy of decluttering. And I can see. So one of the things it shows me that before I go shopping now, I can make a list because I know exactly what I have. And now I know what I need to add, right? And so when I did my deep freezer, there were multiple double stuff that's in there that I just buy double because I eat the same thing. I run to the store and didn't take a list. So I have like 3 of this, 3 of that, but they're all expired and that's money throwing down the drain, which is grocery shopping and groceries are very, very expensive, especially when you're trying to pertain it around your health, right? So you want to make sure that you're not doubling up or tripling up on those things that is in there. So it had taught me to now make a list. So some of the things that I would say, the tips I would give: make a list before you go out. Look what's in your cabinet first. That's number one, or in your pantry, or whatever you call it. I call it cupboard, pantry, whatever. And make a list of that. And I realized that one of the things that I don't shop on an empty stomach, it will make you make bad decisions, is to watch your food. Because, and most of us, and I'm guilty of, shop like hurrying, like, because we don't, there's so much to do, we just hurry and shop. And then we hungry, and then we just shop like that. And I found that out to be true. Look for one of the things that was the aha moment for me was like when I go to the grocery store, like now it's 2024, and I buy the 2024 stuff. I only have them until December before they expired. So what I now do is buy 2 years out. Like, because if I'm going to store them, I make sure they have 2026 expiration date or 2027 expiration date, that I can store them so I don't lose my money. And I was like, oh my God, like I just go and grab stuff and never look on the expiration date. And now last week I buy something and it's going to end like in 2024. But what I should have done was look for the longer shelf life. Look for stuff like the canned food. Like most canned food have longer shelf life. Most herbs and spice have longer shelf life. Go through the rack. Look for the longer shelf life, so that I personally don't waste my money, because I don't like wasting money, because I don't have enough money to waste anyway. And so one of the greatest thing while I was reading that food waste, 80% of us do food wasting, and that's where we can actually save money on food. So longer shelf life. Look for now it's 2024. Look for 2027, so you can store them for 2 years. That's like your canned food, your oil, those kind of things. That won't go rancid. And another thing, buy store brand. I know we always look for the whole, hype and, the what do you call, the trending brand. But if you buy store brand, you will also save money, because like, say I go to Trader Joe's and I buy Trader Joe's brand, it's the same thing. Just buy store brand, you will actually save more. And another thing that I found out, like, as I talked about frozen canned food and vegetables, just look for sodium, because sometimes when you buy fresh, I know I really love eating fresh. If you can find fresh, fresh is good. If you know that you can commit to fresh, commit to it. But what I found out with most of my clients, where they have heavy and busy lives, when they buy fresh, they end up in the cupboard or in the fridge and they spoil. And when I meet with them, they don't have any food, because they'd be like, oh, it's spoiled. I've been running all the time. So if you know you have a busy life, canned and frozen is your best option, because they will stay longer. If you don't have a busy life now and you're committed to, if you can, like, okay, every week I'm going to go shopping, or every 2 weeks I'm going to go shopping when this is over, then that's fine. But think about America, think about that. You, between running, doing multiple stuff, especially as women, and if you have a busy lifestyle, I would say buy canned, buy frozen vegetable. One thing I would say, just look for the sodium. Make sure the sodium is not crazy, just look for low sodium brand, and look for the heart check, because when you use the heart check for the Heart Association, they already vetted food. And so you see that little check mark,
okay,
that says heart certified. They already vetted it and know that the actual sodium, the actual content on it is good for your heart health and good for health. So those are 2 tips that I would say there. Yeah, and but it was such an eye-opening thing, and I think for the average individual who are here and trying to get healthier or start a healthier lifestyle or stick to a healthier lifestyle, I personally think if the cupboards or the your kitchen is set up for that, then it's easier. It's more exciting for you to go in there and cook and enjoy and be creative. You know, not just that, but to look for the pots, because sometimes the pots are worn out and they'll give you, you throw out the pots that is not serving you. But as I said, take it one time at a day at a time and one area at a time. I was able to throw out a lot of pots too that wasn't serving me because they were not good anymore and they needed to change. I was able to do a lot of cups, like the cupboard is overrun. And then you'd be like, man, I can't go in there, because it's just overrun. But it gives you a new excitement and a new lever. So I would say anywhere in your health and wellness journey that you are on, especially if you're learning to cook more and to eat more, you can. As for me, it doesn't matter how you cook. I don't think you can ever be wrong for me, because once you start that process, it's a process that you're not eating out and that you're leaving your health to somebody else, but you're actually taking it into your own hand when you do it. So there's no way that somebody could say, oh, I cooked and it's not healthy. The point is that you cooked, you start, right? And as you go along and start enjoying the journey and enjoying the process, then you'll be able to make better tweets and better tweets and better tweets. And then you'd be like, okay, I got this thing done, right? But make sure that some of the things that I found out in my pantry edit.
So I have lots of questions for you. So how did you decide in your spice drawer, for instance, what spices, though they were old or whatever, what spices needed to be thrown out and which ones did you keep? How do you make that determination?
I would say you make those determination like based on the symptoms that you're having. So for me, I'm like a full menopausal woman now, like at 50 something, right? So in other words, I used to like use a lot of hot sauce and a lot of hot stuff. Now my digestive system is 51. I might look like 20 or whatever they say, like the new 50 is the new 20, but your age is still there, right? And so if I use like certain spice again, it gives me heartburn. It gives me digestive upset stomach. It makes you run to the bathroom and keel over, and bloatiness, right? And so you want your midsection to look away and, all these things. So you got to consider that. But for me, it was most about my symptoms and what I was going through. And also to see that what supports me through menopause, what supports me through blood sugar management. I have, I can do cinnamon. Cinnamon is in there. What supports me through inflammation? Turmeric. Those are, like conscious stuff that I made choices on. So my black pepper, more herbs and spice, more herbs instead of and non-salt, right? So that I use spice that have herbs in it, so that I don't have to use a lot of salt or use salt on top of the spices, right? So some of the things that isn't, I don't put salt in my cupboard because I know what's in there is that you're gonna use. So the more likelihood, if you're trying to avoid it, don't take it home. That's one of my thing. If I'm trying to avoid salt, I'm not going to buy salt and put it in my cupboard, right? If it's there, I'm going to use it because I spend my money for it and I work hard for my money, right? And I'm not going to waste anything. And so the mentality like that. But if you don't have it, and then you try to find a lot of herbs and spice, ginger, turmeric, those are the stuff that support inflammation in your body and make inflammation go down. Olive oil, good fat, ghee, those are the things that now that my body and my bones want it, like my bones crying out like "Cur, cur, 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 girl," you know what I mean? And you hear your bones and whatever sing. So you put those spice in for that. So that's how I made my determination.
Got it.
I'm very practical. I'm very simple. I don't want to just complicate it and like tell you all these fancy stuff. I like to go to practical stuff, and I think a practical way and a practical how that people can start or continue their journey or improve their journey is to look at what they have in their cabinet and or the rack, and now that you have taken out like the food that are not support you or doesn't support detoxification or health, then you can make space. You're making space for new and exciting things that you want in your body so that your body can thrive during this process too. So
Interesting.
that's one of the things how I looked at it. I looked at it from a different lens of not just like to lose weight because um, during menopause, most people gain weight and you gain 10 to 20 pounds of weight. It's what it is. It's how the weight is distributed in your body so that it doesn't affect your midsection alone, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
it's just about eating and how you eat so that the weight can be distributed and you still can be vibrant and you still can eat for that. So those are some of the things that I consider when I am doing my edit.
Okay, so and then I have two other questions that I want to ask you. Do you typically buy organic, like if you have a choice between 2 cans of garbanzo beans,
Mhm.
would you buy the organic first, or do you go by brand, or how do you make those choices? Because I found organic garbanzo beans at Trader Joe's that was as cheap as the brand name at the grocery store that wasn't I think it's oh, so in my mind I like buying uh Trader Joe's organic, or I kind of look for low sodium or organic foods when I buy, even though I don't really need to eat low sodium. I don't have high blood pressure or anything. I still feel like it will give me more control over the saltiness of my food if I buy low salt and then season from there. What do you think?
I would say I wouldn't say like if you don't need low sodium, because if you prevent something you don't have to cure it. So if you are preventing, say, I love the idea of eating for prevention, right? So if blood sugar is out there and I can eat against not having blood sugar, I'm going to eat against it because I don't have to have it. I don't have
Mm.
to cure it when I have it. So I believed in the prevention of eating. So for somebody to say, okay, I don't have blood sugar, but I don't high blood sugar, high blood pressure, I don't have to do that, I would say, no, don't wait until you have it.
Right,
Eat so that you don't have it.
right,
Right.
got it.
And so that is getting ahead, that is
Mm,
getting way ahead before the thing happened. And
got
so
it.
I believed in prevention. But to eat organic or not to eat organic, I would say again it depends on the person financial background, and I think it's person financial savvy and where you can get your stuff. I
Hmm.
think America is so positioned that wherever you have your little money, you can get the best for it, and it just depends on where you shop. So
Got
if
it.
you are a savvy shopper and maybe say you go to a fancy grocery store, yeah, you're gonna get fancy grocery store price. But there's so many choices out there where you can still get organic at even a better rate than the other not organic. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of organic is just that one is sprayed with pesticide and the other is not. So if I want to eat for my health, I would always go to the one that doesn't have pesticide in it or spray with whatever it is that is out there. And if it's certified and I know that it's true, then I'd rather go that way. But
Right.
again, it depends on the person's savviness. If you're just starting out and you're just trying to figure stuff out, and that's your money, and you see it for a great price there, um, I wouldn't buzz you. All I would say, like when I buy canned food, I've always just try and wash them, like run them under the pipe. and wash off some of the sodium, and then reseason them your way.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So that it tastes your way, and so you'll get off some of that stuff, and then you pat dry them, so I would say it boils down to a person preference and to experience and to savviness, because I think, if you're a good savvy shopper, and you know where to shop, you know how to shop, and you know when the deals are out there, because stores are marketing and competing for a little bit of dollar right now. So they're doing a lot of things different, right? And so we have to catch those trends. One time when they used to package, like big Coca-Cola drinks or big um, soft drinks, now they have the can size, now they have the tiny size.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're trying to say get off sodas, right, and you were okay with it, like me, like Pepsi, because Pepsi was my thing, and then you want to win yourself, so you don't get the big one, you start with the big one, then you get the small one, then you get the size one down, and before you know it, then you start drinking water. Right? Because you're weaning yourself off. And I like the idea that they are competing for her dollars, so they're listening to us and realizing that people have a choice, and so they're doing those choices, just as even when you're shopping. Right
Yeah.
now, if you are saying that you cannot, there's some things that is not in your control right now. Like, for instance, when I go out with my husband and they like go to Baskin Robbins and we have a Sunday treat or whatever, and they'd be like, okay, they know what Maureen is gonna have, because I'm just gonna have the size down, the small size, and put some nuts and stuff in there. But then I know I'm not bringing it home. I'm not gonna buy a big Baskin Robbins and bring it home, because hey, we have a tendency to say, this is my money, I work hard for it, so let me eat all I can, right? And then it doesn't serve us, right? So I would say even those things when we're shopping, and that opened my eyes. Instead of buying a big thing and let it spoil, I buy two small can of the same thing, and so that I can use it and portion size it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that we look for is salmon when we go out. And first time they used to have these big salmon. Now I found it at the store where you have the individual Costco, where they have the individual wrap, right? So when I buy and think about my health, I don't have to get up and yang and cut salmon again. They're already pre-wrapped in small hand size for me. So all I need to do is take that out, put it out, and make it thaw out, and then use it, right? So making things easier for us when we shop
Mm-hmm.
is one of the things that support health, that you can actually, because if you're thinking about the overwhelm and doing the work, think about that before too, that do the things that take out some of the work for you, so that you just brought it home, and then you just have to cook. If you're the person who doesn't like to cut up your veg, it might be a little $25 more to buy the one that cut up, or 50 cents more. Spend the 50 cents, because you're going to just put it in the pot and stir fry it, than actually have a thing and chop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It comes down to the busyness of how you are busy, and be honest with yourself. So still being busy is not an excuse for us not to take care of ourselves, because even then, that's the most important thing, to take care of ourselves, because we're busy, we're doing so much that our body needs that kind of nutrient. And
Right.
so I would say, even that, when you're doing the cupboard, like, think about that. Think about, instead of buying the big case of whatever, you buy the small case, and then you buy it in the portion size that supports you at this point.
Yep.
So
Very.
that's kind of the
It's,
ha moment for me. So now I make a list. Now I can literally see what food in the grocery, so I would stop wasting. I would stop waste food. And actually, like, in my deep freezer, some of the stuff were like freezer burn. Like, I have them there. I've never used them. I found some poor crab legs in there, and they were, oh my God, all freezer burn. And I
Oh,
was like, oh my God. So for me now, anything is going to be in there, it has to be used like in a week or two, because I'm conscious of that now. I don't have to put 6 bags or 10 bags of something in the grocery for them, in the garbage bin, for them to draw away all my money, right?
yep.
And so I was looking at that, I'm like, oh my God, that's so much, such a waste.
So you would be, excuse me, you would be very proud of me, Maureen, because for the last 6 months, I've been eating out of my freezer and taking things out of my freezer and say, okay, I have this little bit of hamburger here. What can I make with it today? And so I've been consciously cleaning out my freezer. So now I could buy loaves of bread that are on sale, and I could put a loaf of bread in there because I bought it on sale and it's in the freezer, and it's for the next, it's for the next time I need bread. So it's been very, very, it's been very rewarding to have my sisters come over, open my freezer and say, oh my God, there's so much room in your freezer now. It's just been really fun. And it's been a challenge, but kind of a fun challenge.
Yeah, it is what I find out, anything that you're going to be intentional about takes a little bit of time. And so when you do set that time up, you get it back moving along. You might not, like right now, it takes the time, but it saves you time when I'm running through the door. When I know that literally in my mind, what do I want or what is in my cabinet, I can see them. I don't have to ponder and go pull my neck over and look there. And then most people just kiss their teeth and just buy the same thing. And I was like, why do I need, like for my husband, he likes to buy these big old bulk. And I'm like, no, all of those things I have to throw away because the time has passed and I don't like expired food. So it's just an aha moment for me.
Yeah.
And to understand that I am getting older. I need my little money, whatever I have. I don't need to do something and give it to a manufacturer, my money like that, and just waste money, right? Just by wasting food. So I literally now have these tools, right? And so I want you guys to look at it as tools that you're setting up yourself for. You're setting up yourself for success, right? And you're setting up yourself for longevity along the way, right? It's not just like, hey, I'm changing my diet and I'm cutting out stuff, but it's like, what are you adding into your medicine cabinet? What is going to serve you? What are you adding in? What are you making space for this now body that you have, right? Not the yesterday body, not the today, it's a change body. What are you making room for? Slow digestive system, right? Stuff doesn't go as fast as you were when you were younger. Does the food in your cabinet support that? Does it support in the pantry that supports that? If you have kids and you are going through that, your kids' food might be different from your food, right? So then you might have to shop for a kid's version of the kid that supports their growing and metabolic rate. And then you got to shop for you. So I'm talking about you, putting you at the forefront of your health, and let whatever you have in your pantry or whatever that supports you, that you can see clearly, that you don't have to have it. It's such a freeing and mentally thing. I understand now that people said organization and you organize your pantry and it just released these dopamine in your brain, and you'd be like, oh my God, this feels so good. You can see your pots, you can see your forks, you can see your plates. you can see
And you have a nice kitchen, and that must feel very good when you wake up in the morning, you go in your kitchen and it's all clean for you, huh? It's like,
Yeah, so that I got these guys to come and do my cabinet, repaint them for me, and I
oh,
just thought that this was the opportune time to the opportunity present itself to do a closet, to do a pantry edit. But I am so grateful for the lessons that I'm learning as I go along, because it's just a journey and a learning that life, you have to put life in front of your life and then move along with that, and then just to be true that to your own self and to your own due to what you want from your own life. And so if you want sickness, then you can also bring it in your house. And if you want harmony and peace in your body, and you can create it in your house. And since my house is where I spend most of my time, because nowadays, like when I come home, I'm just like, oh my God, I want to stay home. So I
right.
want my house to be peaceful. I want my house to have this creative juice where I can go in there and be inspired to cook my own meal, and not just to go in and like, oh Lord, when I look in the freezer, I'm like, I run in from it. And so I'm conducively, I'm preparing that, because that's what I want from my life. I want peace for my body. I want cortisol to go down in my body, and cortisol doesn't like chaos. And since I'm going through menopause, and cortisol is the one hormones that I need to pay attention to and to get to love me back, so that I don't have a lot of these other stressors. I'm learning to de-stress, and one way was to literally spend some time and doing that, and spend some time and get to know yourself too. It's a it was an awakening for me to get to know myself through my food and through my pantry and through what I put in my body and through my kitchen. So
And
that's it.
Maureen, do you have any events or things that you want to tell us and the audience about that's coming up?
It's just that I opened my menopause academy, and you can find it at Becoming the Fabulous Fun Woman on Facebook. I have a group there on Facebook called Becoming the Fabulous Woman, and I put tips and tools in there to tell you how teach, and to educate women, and how we can all try to live a vibrant and spiritual life, spirited life, and to be fun, and
Okay.
don't let adults rob us of of our joy. And so these symptoms are here. They're going to be here. They're going to live with us, because that's part of life. But also, we can also feed our body and do the things that supports that, so we can be more healthier, and have a more, I would say, live and vibrant life while we're still living and while we're still present here.
So is your Facebook page the best way people to see all of your contact information?
Yeah, if you go to Becoming the Fabulous Fun Woman on Facebook, you'll see that, or Maureen Stevenson Lois. If you type in my name there, you can see, or you can go to cwrfitness.com, crawl, walk, run, fitness. .com, and you can find me there and reach out. If you
Absolutely.
think my service is something, I like to connect with people who vibes, and who I think is my tribe. I know that everybody is not for me, and because I'm loud and I'm bold, and sometimes I can be, people can look at that and be like, oh my God, she's too.
So what is this new menopause group that you're starting?
It's a menopausal academy that I open, and I've been
Okay.
advertising it, that if you're going through the life change of
Very
menopause
good.
or midlife crisis, and you want some support, just from my own personal experience of
Yes.
literally going through it now, and some of the resources and some of the tools that I use to support myself. If somebody out there needs support, um, I would be grateful, and I would be honored for the privilege of your time, to speak with you so that you can find the tools and tailored what is suitable for you, because my body is different from yours and I understand that, and to just customize something for you and what you're going through.
And the Menopause Academy, you can find that also on your Facebook page.
Yes, it's also on the walkcrawlrunfitness.com. You can find that there, and you would just click on it and send me a notification, sign up. It takes you through a sign up sheet, and then I'll get notified that you signed up. So it's at cwrfitness.com, crawl, walk, run, fitness.com. You can find that on there also.
That's going to be I think that's going to be a really good service for people, Maureen, because it's such a mystery. It's kind of a mysterious time in our lives that women go through, and it's a journey, and it's not easy. So
yeah,
I think
it's awesome. Definitely, it's definitely a change of the body. I would say it's definitely something that if you think you need support with. And also we throw in like the dress part, we teach you like different colors that can actually support some of the symptoms that you have.
You notice today I'm finally wearing some color, Maureen.
Yeah, it's not just about eating food, but also the clothes that you wear that supports the vibrancy and bring out your dopamine and all of that happy hormones that we want to come up,
yes,
to filter up. So some of those stuff. So it's just not about food alone. It's about rest. It's about rest. It's about rest, because a lot of people just run, and it's about how you nurture yourself through rest, how you nurture yourself through movements, how you give yourself nourishment through just be still. It's about food. It's about, so it's not just one thing, and to remember that so we take the whole person approach in, and remember that you're a whole person. And so we put that whole person, which is you, and we support that whole person.
I love that about you, Maureen, that it is just about, it's the whole package. And it's not just the one thing that we're trying to fix, So
it's not like, hey, I'm gonna hit the gym and try to lose and lose and lose.
Right.
I've learned in menopause that it's not really about losing, it's about gaining. It's about gaining wisdom, understanding, grace, empathy, all of that thing that you come together and give your body, that now that your body needs that support. It needs empathy, it needs joy, it needs not to go to war with it, right? It needs for you to praise it, it needs for you to say good things to it. Because now that you want it to do good things for you, right? If you want your husband or your mate to do stuff for you, you say the right thing. You try to find out, like, be nice to them, right?
Right.
So it's about be nice to yourself and to think of yourself as your best friend, and to do that with sleep, to do that through these different modalities that is out there.
And you have so much wisdom. Thank you so much, Maureen, for coming on today and introducing us to this idea that we can just take one cupboard at a time and lighten our load and feel vibrant about decluttering. And I actually am inspired. I've been looking at my spice cupboard for the last, I'd say, month, not wanting to tackle it. I want to put it in alphabetical order. I want to do all kinds of things, but I haven't had the energy, but now I feel inspired.
Yeah, I don't think, I would say alphabetical order if you have the time, but I could just say, just look at it, because some of the spice will tell you what it supports, and what it's good for. And then you mimic that. You think about your symptoms. Am I having a lot of joint pains? What do I need to put in there to put in my food that can alleviate those joint pains, or could make them better, improve my quality of life?
Yes.
Right? For me, it's just about improved quality of life while I'm living. Right? While I cannot control anything else, I can improve my life and the quality of my life. And information, if we can actually keep information markers down. And so that is how I'm relearning to train myself and to put the food that I actually reach at my hand that can support that. Yeah, and they're right in my house.
And I love the comment that you made about how our needs change as we age. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it until you said that. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess my eating habits, my mother's eating habits, everything has changed. So that's a really good point to
Yeah.
stay
Now
current.
do I need soft food instead of hard food?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Do I need food that I don't have to chew, but I can actually use my tongue to help me to eat them and to mitigate them at a certain age? So those are the consideration and stuff that you have to be true to yourself. Like when I
Yes.
said bring your true self in,
Mm-hmm.
and determine what is more. Because even for your mom, I'm certain that your mom is going to want a lot of lot of soft food. Do I need to parade my food? Do I need to get a blender? Do I need to get a thing that I can parade my mom food so that she don't choke, or she just have the thing that melt on her palate and go down, because those are challenges that comes with us aging.
Yeah. 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 I don't have you on the schedule, Maureen. I'm going to have to reach out and put you on the schedule because we're scheduling now for the next quarter.
Okay.
And I don't have you coming back for a while. So I'm going to reach out and get you on the schedule for Biz Chicks for the end of the year, toward the end of the year. We have our next 4 months that we need to get people on the schedule for. So thank you so much, Maureen, for all that you do for us and for your pearls of wisdom, and the fun way that you present it is very, very good.
Thank you so much, guys, for the privilege of your time, and thank you for watching on the replay, or for those who are watching. Just remember that literally your health is literally in your own two hands. What you do with them, probably none of my business, but I'm just here to remind you.
Well, and Maureen can help us in so many different ways. I mean, you're just like I said in the beginning, you're just the total package as a health coach. And I really appreciate that about you, especially the part that you help us with our spiritual and our mental health as well. So I like that a lot.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, Maureen.
Bye.
Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.
Soon. Bye.
Okay.